I want to quickly talk about tardies and late work and absences and general lack of presence on online classes. So first off, right off the bat, I do accept late work. Whenever you get something done, submit it. If it's quite late and you haven't explained to me why it's so late, I tend to grade down just a little bit. But what's very important is at the end of the course, December, at the end of May, or if it's an 8-week course, at the end of the eighth week, that you have all the assignments submitted that you want to submit. So I don't necessarily have a very elaborate schedule as to how to take off points for late work. I want to listen to you. I want to know why you might need some extra time. And I don't want to penalize anyone for a situation that is genuinely beyond your control. So, I really I'm quite lenient on this, but I don't want you to take advantage of that. It doesn't help anybody if you're trying to cram everything into the last 2 weeks of class. You really aren't going to learn the right way, and you're going to make me feel like you're somehow playing the system and just trying to get a passing grade while not really, attempting towards any sort of genuine mastery of any concept. So, but having said that, if you're meeting with me in a land class and you come in late, just come in quietly and sit down and get busy listening or thinking or whatever. If you realize, you have 2 classes back to back, and I'm the second class, and the class you have immediately before our class is, a good 15-minute walk across campus. That's unfortunate scheduling, but that does happen, and I completely understand that. Just let me know, and I'll leave the door open. And I tend to start class fairly punctually, basically right on time, but I understand these things. Just come on in, don't make a big fuss about it, find your seat, and join the class. But I would appreciate that information. So, as soon as you know this is going to be a constant issue, just let me know, and then I know, and I can certainly deal with that. As far as online classes go, I would like to see activity on your end at least once or twice a week. Come in, log on, do some work. I expect more than that, but I feel like the minimum is probably twice a week, where you just kind of come in and do work in the class online. Again, I understand if there might be 1 or 2 weeks where you aren't that way. As long as those assignments are coming in in a decent way in terms of their due dates and things like that. So that's very important to me, that I see that constant production of work on your end. But if you have a situation where you're going to miss 2 or 3 weeks of work online, just let me know, and then I understand that, and just get that work done. So it's kind of tricky to insist on, say, for example, you have to be in class. If you miss 3 days or whatever, you can't get an A. You can get only a B. Well, there are a lot of situations, where I can see someone actually, missing those days and needing to miss those days. And, in this modern age of globally transmitted illnesses, don't come to class if you're feeling sick. Just stay home. You're coughing, you feel tired. Stay, shelter in place, or whatever you want to call it. Don't come to class. You're going to make your neighbors around you feel very uncomfortable as you're coughing and sneezing and stuff like that. You're going to make me feel uncomfortable. And that's not a good thing. You do not, I'm just telling you that I don't interpret that as, oh, you're a hard worker, you're never going to quit. I interpret that as not the right action, So, I don't need to see a doctor's note or anything. Just tell me that you're struggling with something, and stay home and get it right. And stay up with the class as much as you can online. So, I want to customize our interaction as much as possible. If you feel that you don't really need to be face to face with me a lot, then I don't really need that to happen for me to feel like I'm doing you a decent service and maybe you're learning and growing, right? You might actually be improperly placed in these things, and this might be not a challenge for you, and it might be an easy class. Well, then, I don't expect you to spend all this time online, or working on it. But maybe it is a challenge because of your background or whatever. At that point, perhaps you need to come once a week or twice a week to class, and you definitely need to be talking with me. So I want us to really focus on the production that you're ready to give me, the writing or the reading or the work that you're ready to develop based on where you are in your own lifelong development. And I can meet you where you are, and we can figure out what's your next step, right? So it's all about helping you get better. And, that's how I'm going to evaluate you at the end of the day. I'm not going to evaluate you based on how energetic you are in class or how many questions you're asking, or how often you try to talk with me afterward. And that doesn't impress me. That's not the right way to operate with me. I want someone who's going to seriously put some effort into the class and produce. And I eventually will know you because of your work. Now, of course, I'm interested in knowing you as a person, but please don't think that the more that you talk to me, or the more that you, again, come early or stay after class, the more I'm going to think you're a good student. I judge you in that sense. I evaluate you based on where you have come from and what your next step should be. And if you're moving forward to that next level of progress, that's what I'm interested in, and that's how you get your A. So, it's a very fluid situation now. I'm talking about learning how to do proper attendance that respects the student and the busyness of the modern life, and yet doesn't allow someone to disappear. And I don't want to be a facilitator to giving you a very poor experience, but I'm also not going to be forcing you, to come to class or to talk with me or whatnot. So, that can backfire too. So, you need to determine how much you want to put into the class, what you need to get out of that. I need to respect that and make sure that it's within that envelope of, okay, that's a good plan, and then we just kind of move forward with that. So, let's say you have a period where you miss 5 days of class, 5 periods. Or if you're taking an online class, you all of a sudden, there's no activity on your end for 2 weeks. What am I going to think? Well, I'm just going to sit there and watch. And if all of a sudden that life event passes or whatnot, and you're back online doing work after those 2 weeks, I'm going to say, no problem, man. I mean, keep on doing what you need to be doing. Get it done, right? But so then after you miss 5 days of 5 sessions of class, you come back in. Maybe you share with me if you feel you need to share with me some information, and then you get back on track. So I'm not going to sit there and say, well, you missed 5 days and you can't get a B or whatever. You might be a very intelligent person and you can easily get an A and miss 5 days of class. So I just don't want to have my teaching and my interaction with you clouded by all that other stuff. You're an adult. You decide whether you want to come to class or not. You decide how you want to do the online stuff. And if you disappear for half the semester, and then there's some sort of panic situation where you decide, whoa, I need to reinvest in the class because I need to pass it or whatever. Well, at that point, yeah, come and talk to me, but I can't work a miracle on your end. There's going to be a lot of work you have to catch up on, and it really would have been a good thing for you to have been there for a lot of those sessions in the first half of the semester. But yeah, I mean, come back and let's get going. Let's see how far we can get. Maybe you can get you still get a decent grade. But if you somehow disappear on me and you don't communicate with me, you never turn any assignments, at the end of the day, I'll give you an F. I mean, I'll do that without batting an eye because, I feel like you might have made a decision, right? It's like, well, I'm really not going to care about this class. I'm never going to show up. Well, at that point, don't expect to pass. It's just as simple as that. But, on the other hand, it all depends also on the quality of your work and how many points you earn. So, I'm not going to say it's impossible for someone to really focus for 3 or 4 weeks and really catch up and do good work and get, 85, 90 points. That's an A. 90, 95 points, that's an A. I'm not going to stop that from happening if I feel like, yeah, you actually have that sort of mind, you actually have that sort of energy, and you've had that sort of situation. But on the other hand, that's kind of rare. And for a student that, skips out on most of the semester, they do not do well. They just don't. The learning doesn't really happen. It turns into a game of trying to get points and trying to pass and trying to, it erodes respect. So, I want to respect you by not being, so crazy about, counting every time you're late and every day you miss and then, subtracting points and all that. That to me, that's amateurish. But then I want you to respect me by, doing the work, and respecting the class and trying to learn how to appreciate it and trying to see, well, what's it all about? Where's the good in all of this? Let me find that and latch onto it. So that's going to take some time and some investment, and that means that you have to get online twice a week or something like that, or come to class once every week, once every 2 weeks. I don't know. Stay in touch. So, I know this is a very sort of fluid thing, and I know a lot of students. Sometimes there are students that say, "Just give me the policy," but then I'm going to say, I don't operate like that. I don't. I want to. You're very complicated. You're very complex. We're complex people, and we're in a very complicated and complex world and situation, and we need to have more of an ad hoc approach to this, so that we make sure that things are done fairly, right? So that's why I don't have those markers and all that. Now, if a department says across the board that you can't pass if you have like 12 absences or something like that, then I'm going to put that on my syllabus because I have to. I mean, I'm going to try to operate under the school's rules. But if you ever get close to that and there's that sort of policy, then we need to talk, and I'm going to try to help you do something to have a fair experience. If you have a life event or something that has pushed you to the edge of that. So sometimes policy, departments have that. But I think, these years of struggling with pandemic and illnesses, public health issues like COVID-19, and before COVID-19, I remember very, very aggressive flu seasons where departments were saying hold class remotely, don't come to class. So if nothing else, I feel like we as educators, we are learning how to be much more flexible with this whole "are you in your seat" sort of thing. I think that works for 5th grade, but I don't think it works for college. You might be able to do a much better job at this class online in your dorm room. So why would I want you in class if you don't want to be there to talk with me live, right? Live. I'll just see how you operate, and if that's how you operate, then I don't want you to feel like some reason I think you're a slacker or you're not putting in enough work. I don't know. I'll just see based on what you produce. Okay. So I just want to be very flexible about that, because there are going to be times when the right decision would be you need to stay home, or you need to take a break. You need to recharge, reorient, or you just need to get a little more healthy by sleeping. And I don't need to hear about it. I don't need doctors' excuses. I mean, at the end, I would like you to tell me, and I'll honor that. I'm not going to think you're lying unless I get a history where I can prove for some reason that, you've lied to me a couple times. And I'm not like that. I'm not going to waste my time trying to prove that sort of stuff. But, so, I'm just going to believe you. And I want you to rest easy. I'd much rather you fall in love with reading and get a little more excited about writing, that's success to me, not how many times you show up in class. So I don't know. That's where I stand with this.